kids. Today, the inauguration of incontinence. Welcome to the program. Now on YouTube Live. But check us out. You can find it at Sunrise Santa Rosa with Nick Stewart -- the Milton Post. And good morning. Good to have you with us today. All right. Is everybody doing okay today? Is everybody all right? Keep your heads clear. We've got a lot to talk about today. Some of it good, some of it not. And we will talk more about that coming up. Your telephone calls are welcome, 850-771-0049. And, my name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Welcome to the program. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Milton Post, for hosting. And, I'm not watching it today. I don't care. I could not. There's no possible way that I could care any less than I do right now. But there are others. They get a tingle, and I'll explain that as we come up on that. So, your forecast for today. Partly cloudy skies, a high near 69. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, giving way to cloudy skies later on, low near 50. And tomorrow for your Thursday, cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, and a high near 69. Presently, it's 45 in Milton. It's 52 Gulf Breeze, 46 in Navarre, and 47 in Pensacola. Everybody take a deep breath. It may be the last time you have a chance to do that for a long time. Is it 2024 yet? I don't know. It's going to be a long 4 years. 850-771-0049. I also want to say there are, all right, YouTube Live's working. Bueno. That's bueno. I'm glad that is doing well. So I don't even know what the delay is on that at all, but we're here. All right. So I know that there are people that are being blocked by Facebook until 1 hour after the inauguration. What? They're being blocked from Facebook until 1 hour after the inauguration. You process that. All right. Let's get started. Suicide rates in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties increased in 2020 by 13% and 20% respectively, which some mental health experts say is a direct result of stresses related to the pandemic, isolation, and economic fallout by the coronavirus. Well, it's perpetrated by the Democrats. Yes. 60 people in Escambia County, 42 people in Santa Rosa died by suicide last year. That's according to data provided by the Florida Department of Health. In 2019, 53 people in Escambia and 35 people in Santa Rosa died by the same cause. So are those suicides blamed to coronavirus? Are they counted as coronavirus deaths? The 2020 rates are the second highest suicide rates recorded in either county in the past decade. Only 2016 saw marginally higher suicide rates, with 61 and 43 people dying by suicide in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties. Allison Hill's a senior vice president with Baptist Healthcare and the president and CEO of Lakeview Center, which operates mental health and psychiatric clinics in Northwest Florida. Hill said Lakeview has conducted about 88,000 telehealth appointments since March, including virtual therapy and psychiatry sessions with clients. Still, their overall client numbers were down slightly from the year before. The result of people being hesitant to meet in person while also being uncomfortable with conducting private medical business virtually. Now, Corey has underwater basket weaving. Oh, you mean you can't watch the inauguration. Gotcha. So, suicide rates have increased in 2020. It's all due to the pandemic. It's all due to being shut down and stuck inside your house and not going anywhere. Now, I did not get depressed. I didn't. But I did get tired of being inside. Because look, even if you could get out of your house, you weren't on quarantine, there was no place to go. Everything was shut down. So you worked from home, you did church from home, you did all kinds of stuff from home. Now, in 4.5 months, that I was home, I had not one day to myself. That'll make you crazy. But there were some who could not take it. Divorce rates are up. Child abuse is up. You didn't see that in that number either. But it was devastating on our local community. Weather, you know how it goes. But anyway, it was suicide rates. Please watch out for those who are struggling. Because of a shipment of COVID-19 vaccination not arriving, vaccinations scheduled for today and tomorrow at the Milton Community Center have been canceled. Santa Rosa County and Department of Health will be in contact with those who have appointments for the community center to reschedule. This is only for vaccinations at the Milton Community Center. The testing and all that stuff still goes on. So, 850-771-0049. Publix has announced that beginning today, eligible people and those 65 or older can begin making appointments for COVID-19 vaccines available at many Publix stores statewide. In a statement on its website, the grocery store chain said the following people are eligible to make an appointment: healthcare personnel with direct patient contact. If you're a healthcare professional, I think you already have it. Residents and staff of long-term care facilities, adults 65 years or older. Those eligible can begin making appointments after 6 a.m. right now. Vaccination appointments are scheduled online only. Appointments cannot be made by calling Publix or the Publix pharmacy. So if you're 65 or older, you're out. We know that. They've not been able to do it because, look, a lot of them don't have they're not familiar with those things. They didn't grow up with them. All right? So they have a hard time using those. Like I can't use TikTok. Or they don't have access to internet. They don't have phones to do it. They don't have computer at home. Just saying. Carrie's not going to get the shot. Mel, I don't blame you. I don't know. Elizabeth says, my notification no longer pops up for this site. That's because we've been throttled. Carrie says, I put 10,000 miles on my motorcycle during the pandemic. Wind therapy is the best. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that. All right. What else is going on? Oh, gross. I have no toleration for people like this. I don't. I do not like people like this. Devils. A man and a woman are behind bars in Santa Rosa County after deputies discovered child porn videos involving a young child. Brandy Nicole Harper, 38, is charged with 2 counts of sexual battery on a child under age of 12. David McKenzie, 35, is charged with 10 counts of child pornography. The Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office held a press conference Tuesday morning saying Harper and McKenzie were involved in a relationship. Harper's son discovered child pornography videos on McKenzie's phone at a J home. He turned the phone over to deputies. Sheriff Bob Johnson said the videos involved the youngest victim he's ever seen during his time in law enforcement. No further details were ever released involving the child. Johnson added that Harper was in the videos. More charges are expected for McKenzie, according to deputies. McKenzie's being held at the Santa Rosa County Jail on $75,000 bond, while Harper is in jail without bond. Each count of child pornography possession for McKenzie is punishable of up to 15 years in prison. Each count of sexual battery against Harper carries a life sentence. Get rid of them. They're going away for a very long time. throw away the key. Disgusting. Jeff says, is there a vaccine to combat what is about to happen to the nation? Well, I would say the vote, but, there you go. As students move into the next semester of the school year, the threat of COVID-19 is worse than it was at the beginning of the year. Parents were talking about the many factors involved in deciding whether to move their kids between virtual and in-person learning. So where does this lie? Do the people who had their kids back in school leave them there, or do they pull them back out? And do the people who were having their kids at home learning, do they go, it's time for them to go back, but we know it's dangerous? What happens? Because, listen, the school system stinks at virtual learning. Stinks. They're not made for that. They have no idea what they're doing. It's a train wreck. The virtual learning and the long distance learning for the schools is a train wreck. The grades show it. But do you put your children in jeopardy and your home in jeopardy by sending them back to the Petri dish? What do you do? Do you homeschool? And you say, well, I don't want, thank you. Thank you, Donna. And you can comment. Donna was not able to comment on Facebook. So what do you do with your kids? People say, well, I can't homeschool. I'm not a teacher. Fine. There's streaming, there's video, there's other things and it's not the same as virtual. All right. So keep that in mind. But there are other options because the school doesn't have an answer for anything right now. Lauren says we had a wonderful teacher through virtual learning. It's a full-time job. Yep. Yes, it is. Oh, you said back to brick and mortar. Is that better or is that worse? Lauren says, I got you. Is there a parent, a grandparent or somebody who is able to, that is willing to? I don't know. What do? You make some hard choices. 850-771-0049. What else is going on? Gulf Breeze city leaders say they're weathering the storm after Hurricane Sally knocked the barges into the bridge. They held the first council meeting in a new location Tuesday night. And because of the spike of COVID cases, they went from City Hall to community centers so they could spread out. They've not experienced any financial impact directly resulting from the bridge closure. No, but your constituents have. They're not considering any employee impacts, any layoffs. Says, I believe we'll be able to get estimates from the state of Florida on any potential sales tax impacts a little bit down the road. But they're not worried about that. They don't get their money from that. Don't you care about your businesses that are closing? Now, I've not gone down that far in Gulf Breeze. I've been down to the Publix strip mall. But I've not been down to where McDonald's is in Gulf Breeze right beyond the bridge or Taco Bell. I heard both of those are closed. And when you've got a McDonald's that closes, hey, you got some issues. You got issues. And so what do you do? So the city council's like, hey, we're good. The city's good. We got money in the city. We're not being impacted at all. No, but your constituents are. The city is not experiencing any of those hardships. Good for you. A 29-year-old deputy was arrested after sending some frightening text messages. After receiving a report, the Polk County Sheriff's Office immediately launched an investigation into Deputy Peter Haneen. And Haneen said, you need to shoot the blank back, F the feds, shoot the Fed. The next day was, need to make the streets of D.C. run red with the blood of tyrants. Sheriff's office suspended Haneen. He's also facing criminal charges for making written threats. Now, I don't think I have Haneen's picture, but I looked at it. I read the name. Now, let me ask a question, because I like to ask questions. Yes, he made terroristic threats. His last name is Haneen. Is that, it doesn't say he's a Trump supporter. It implies he's a Trump supporter. His last name's Haneen. I don't know. It's a question. It should be looked at. Instead of saying, oh, the Republicans are bad. Just saying. 850-771-0049. And I saw the picture. He is Middle Eastern of a sort. I don't know what, but I'll get hate mail for that. It's a question that you have to ask. If you don't ask those questions, I mean, if the Democrats can say we need to vet all the white males in the around the Capitol in the National Guard, then why can't we say, hey, this guy's last name is Haneen? Let's just check him out and see what his beef was. Since 2008, the Steuders have paid for the Mason-Dixon Polling and Strategy, an independent polling firm, to conduct an annual quality of life survey. The poll has 12 years of data and tracks residents' perception of quality of life on things such as waterfront access, economy, schools, local politicians. Now, this year, evidently because they're woke, they ask about systemic racism. Poll found 61% of county voters believe systemic racism exists in Escambia County, while 30% do not believe it exists, and 9% were not sure. The view on systemic racism was sharply divided among race. Poll found 53% of white voters believe systemic racism existed, and 38% did not. 82% of black voters believe systemic racism existed, and 13% did not. So as I read this, which I find to be a stupid poll, and here's the reason why I hate it. Here's the reason why. Did it give a definition of systemic racism? Because the majority of people could not give you a working definition of systemic racism. It's a buzzword. We hear it on the news. Nobody knows what it means. The other part of that is who they ask. What age groups did they ask? I just find it to be absolutely ridiculous. That is a stupid, dumb poll. Dumb. It's dumb. Systemic racism. Oh my gosh. Does your head hurt every day with this stuff? Many urbanists now agree that the urban freeways of the 50s and 60s imposed costs on the cities. So you see the urban sprawl, the maze. And again, these clover leaves, I always wonder what they were smoking when they designed these things. But that's me. They divided, and it outweighs their benefits. Many of them split lower-income black neighborhoods in two to facilitate commuting to new suburbs on urban fringe, leading many black activists to label them white men's roads through black men's homes. Now, decades after the damage was done, Congress may be ready to undo it. A proposed bill would pour $10 billion into a pilot program that would let cities unbuild those freeways and replace them with more pedestrian-friendly boulevards and suture the sundered communities back together. Dallas is getting ready to out front of the curve on this matter. Armed with $4 million in federal funding, it plans to replace freeway through the low-income minority neighborhood with a boulevard that will serve as a testbed for smart transit technology. So they are going to obliterate interstates? What? What? Systematic favoritism. I don't know. So do you hate the interstate? Did the interstate, so if we get rid of the interstate, is it going to make these neighborhoods flourish? Will it get rid of crime? Will it get rid of the debris and make everything a lush green garden with pedestrian walks? Anybody? Anybody? Wow. No thought processes whatsoever from these people. All right, so get rid of this. As we pass 30 million vaccine doses distributed, Fauci says masks and social distancing aren't going anywhere anytime soon. You can just say forget no more. You can't just say forget no more public health measures. He also addressed when the public will be able to get back to some sort of normalcy. Now, remember, they told us January. Then they tell us summer. And now they don't know. When we get the country to be 70 to 85% vaccinated, and we get this blanket or umbrella of herd immunity so that level of virus is so low in society it's not really a threat to anybody, then we can start coming down to the stringency of the public health measures. The bottom line is that if you get vaccinated, you can't throw away the mask because you could be infected and conceivably infect others. I thought that's what the vaccine was for. Fauci says we don't know whether or not COVID-19 will remain despite vaccination efforts. We don't even know if it's going away, he says. So now we may have the coronavirus forever. Forever. Now they're saying different strains, and now this vaccine won't work for all of them, and then they may have to come up with a new vaccine. Wowzers, people. Elizabeth says, interstate, what I hate is the unfettered tax dollars being spent for no reason. If it's not broken, don't fix it. But the neighborhoods are broken. Remember, they have to knit them back together. 850-771-0049. Vaccine scarcity is continuing to plague California, even as other indicators seem to show a slowing in the holiday-driven surge that left the state to be the first to top 3 million confirmed coronavirus infections. San Francisco's public health department is likely to run out of vaccine Thursday, in part because the state pulled back on administering a batch of Moderna vaccine, which it's holding 2 million doses and not distributing them. This is California. This is how California works. They have vaccine. They're not distributing vaccine. And so it says Los Angeles County is starting to inoculate those 65 and older despite the scarcity. Even though they have 2 million doses in cold storage. Wowzers. 850-771-0049. I get, you know how it is. It's ridiculous. This stuff is just, you've got the vaccine. Distribute it, please. On his last full day in office, President Donald Trump enjoys a 51% approval rating. 51%, in spite of what the media would have you believe. They don't know what they're talking about. 51%. Rattle that around your brain. That's according to Rasmussen, who tends to be the most accurate. The others had him way low, 26%, something like that. And they were only asking a small fraction of Republicans. Trump's disapproval rating sits at just 48%. There are a lot of media polls that show Trump's approval rating in the low 40s and even in the 30s. But over the course of the last few election cycles, they're almost all fake polls, rigged polls. And you know that. You don't trust the polls. Rasmussen tends to be fairly accurate. 51%. Bueno? It's bueno. I would agree, Carol. I would agree. But you're going to have to be careful. I think people are being cautious. And I'll explain that in a little bit as well. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blamed the terrorist attack on the U.S. Capitol building at the feet of President Trump. Even though the timeline doesn't match up, it's Trump's fault. The mob was fed lies, Mr. McConnell said on the floor of the U.S. Senate, referring to attempts by Mr. Trump to overturn the election. They were provoked by the president and other powerful people. They tried to use fear and violence to stop a specific proceeding of the first branch of the federal government, which they did not like. Let's set the record straight. President Trump specifically told those gathered to march peacefully and patriotically. He did. He did. So in spite of what Mitch McConnell said, President Trump did not incite the riots. Sell out, Mike Pence. He decided to attend the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden instead of attending President Trump's final send-off. The news was revealed when Vice President's office released his final press schedule. The only event on Wednesday's calendar is the inaugural ceremonies. President Trump is scheduled to hold a farewell event on Wednesday morning at Joint Base Andrews. The president released a message on Twitter late Tuesday thanking the American people, but the message did not mention the president. So, Mike Pence, you have ruined, you might as well turn Democrat because you'll never, ever get anywhere. 2024, you can kiss that goodbye. You can kiss 2024 goodbye. Don't even try. You will not have a chance. McConnell goes with the wind. You are not wrong. And that is the thing, is the Democrats want to make sure he can't run again. They've got to demonize him. They should know by now, right? All it does is inflame those the left already has. And I mean, those people have a wild burning hate for Trump and for you. It's not changing anything. It's making things worse. But they want to demonize him and blame him for the woes of the world. Mm-hmm. The Hungarian government is following Poland in moving against big tech, vowing action against the shadow banning of Christian conservative and right-wing opinions. Shadow ban means the act of social media providers secretly for political purposes restricting the visibility and access of our user profile without our knowledge about it. Hence, this show's numbers. And before you think that I'm just making that up, you don't go from 7,000 views a day to the very next day down to 300. Doesn't happen. It's a switch. Judith Varga, the Minister of Justice in the National Conservative Government, in a statement shared on social media, claiming that she has herself personal experience of such treatment at the hands of big tech. To reduce their reach, Facebook also has limits of visibility of Christian conservative right-wing opinions, pledging to convene an extraordinary meeting of the Digital Freedom Committee in order to tackle such systemic abuses. I will also consult with the president of the Hungarian Competition Authority on the possibility of sanctioning unfair commercial practices. So, we're getting a lesson in free speech from Poland and Hungary. They see it. They get it. Our government, the land of the free, and free speech is one of those things, does not see the danger from social media. Poland and Hungary, you need to pressure the U.S. Hey, you need to join us in this. Ridiculous. Poland and Hungary. All right, so they're calling for 2024. Trump and Jim Jordan. Okay, I'll buy that. Trump and Kristi Noem. Okay, good. Trey Gowdy. Anybody? Matt Gaetz. What about DeSantis? What about those guys? There are some great from right here. I would like to see DeSantis or Gaetz. Not Rubio. I would say Trump and DeSantis. I know, but I think he's got some good people. I think maybe we can get another good governor up in there. Yep. Sock puppets been tapped. He's tapped Pennsylvania Health Secretary Rachel Levine to be his assistant. Do I have that moron's picture? Oh my gosh. Look at this train wreck of an individual. Woof. Levine's poised to become the first openly transgendered federal official to be confirmed by the U.S. Senate. A pediatrician. Would you send your children to this? Would you send your child to this? A pediatrician? No blasted way. And former Pennsylvania physician general Levine was appointed to its current post by Democratic Governor Tom Wolf, making it one of the few transgender people serving in elected or appointed positions nationwide. It won past confirmation by the Republican majority in Pennsylvania Senate and has emerged as a public face of the state's response to the coronavirus pandemic. That would scare the life out of you. What an brutally ugly person. Oh, it's ugly. Dr. Rachel Levine will bring steady leadership and essential expertise we need to get people through this pandemic. Oh, really? Well, let me tell you, Rachel Levine took her mother out of the nursing home as she was cramming people into the nursing home so her mother wouldn't get coronavirus, didn't care about the rest of the people, put her mother up in a hotel, put its mother up in a hotel, whatever this is, whatever this train wreck of an individual is. Joe Biden, this shows he knows nothing what he's doing. It's all virtue signaling. It's all women, people of color, gays, transgenders, all those kinds of things. It's all virtue signaling. These people are not qualified for the jobs he's putting them in. It doesn't make a difference. I'm going to have the most diverse cabinet ever. And that's all you got, because you do not have good people. I don't care what they think. Are they qualified? This does not know what it's doing. It is not qualified. It can't even comb its hair. Oh, my gosh. Brutally ugly. Brutally ugly. Becoming a woman did not help you. Oh. Yeah, Biden is a puppet. He is a puppet. Oh my gosh. Is it 2024 yet? I'm just asking. Asking for a friend. Sock puppets taking office at a time of national crisis plans to emphasize the themes of unity and recovery in his inaugural address. Let's all come together. Kumbaya. Shall we? Shall we just sing Kumbaya? You need to get behind Joe Biden. We need to get behind this president, they say. Yeah, really. He's going to emphasize the themes of unity and recovery in his inaugural address, messages that he returned to repeatedly on the campaign trail on his way to victory over President Trump. Mr. Biden's outdoor address will come in unusual circumstances, secured by 26,000 National Guard troops before an empty National Mall only 2 weeks after supporters of President Trump rallied and had over 1 million people. With that historic event as a backdrop, Mr. Biden will focus on his approach on the coronavirus pandemic ravaging the U.S. and attempt to calm the national grappling with racial and political divisions his party has fostered. But now I'm here, and we're going to flip a switch off. And because Joe Biden is president, they're going to say there's going to be no more Antifa or Black Lives Matter rallies, right? Wrong. It's all going to be good. It's all going to be, everybody's going to hold hands and skip while they run all the Trump supporters into prison and into re-education camps. Unity. Thugs, he calls people. He calls the GOP that did not agree to certify the electoral votes criminals. President Trump issued 73 pardons and 70 sentence commutations early Wednesday. The pardon recipients included former White House advisor Steve Bannon, rapper Lil Wayne, and Kodak Black. Former Detroit Mayor Kilpatrick, who was serving nearly 30-year sentence on corruption charges, was among the 70 who had their sentences commuted just hours before President-elect Joe Biden takes oath of office. Trump was not expected to attempt to issue himself or family members a preemptive pardon because there's nothing to charge him with. That doesn't stop the Democrats from trying to. One thing that stands out, Joseph Maldonado Passage, the Tiger King, did not receive a pardon. He had a limo lined up to take him out of prison. He was confident one was coming. It did not come. So hopefully there won't be any more Tiger King unless they do one from behind bars. Yikes. All right. So MSNBC contributor Eddie Glaude had a lot to say Tuesday while praising President-elect Joe Biden and attacking President Trump supporters on the eve of the inauguration. He was emotional. He showered Biden with praise during its coverage of the coronavirus memorial event. So I want you to see this video. This is absolutely the weirdest thing ever. I've got tons of video today, so hold on. All right? I'm going to get this stuff out of the way so you can see this. You got to watch his face. Watch his face. Let me get rid of the... move this over here. All right? Here we go.
You know, the selfishness that has kind of suffocated the land was held at arm's length for a moment. We've needed a national ritual to mourn so that we can think about the mourning. And then for a moment, just listening to the words and the song and seeing the lights, President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President Harris pulled the grief and regret out of the privacy of our hearts, if just for a moment, so that we all could share it. Cardinal Gregory put it powerfully, sorrow unites us, you know? We needed this ritual because the dead weren't settled. People didn't die right, Nicole. And coming out of my tradition, when folk don't die right, they haunt. So, you know, I'm thinking of Charlie. When he would slice that golf ball and cuss at the top of his lungs, or...
Who the heck is Charlie?
We would sit down and smoke cigars and talk about how bad we played and how good we would play the next round, and thinking about all of those folks who, just for the moment,
Okay, hold on a second. Listen to this.
nation shared their grief. Oh, what a first step. What a beautiful step. So I'm going to,
What a beautiful
I'm
step.
reminded of the psalmist. You know, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Maybe the death will speak to us now. Maybe they can rest now.
He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He just compared Biden to God. That's what he did. He compared Biden to God. That's what the psalm is referring to. He heals the brokenhearted. He binds up their wounds. Wow. Can you say, that's a little crazy? That is crazy. 850-771-0049. I don't know. All right. Former FBI Director James Comey argued that the GOP needs to be burned down or changed. He said burned down, likened the Capitol riot to Chernobyl nuclear disaster, and called the January 6th security shortcomings a 9/11 size failure. Really? How many buildings came down? How many lives were destroyed on January 6th? Was it 3,000? I don't think so. The interview in which he criticized President Trump as a liar, he also called him a bastard. He said Trump is a liar and his supporters are bad for the GOP. But I want you to see this. He called for them to be burned down. Isn't that violent rhetoric? Isn't that calling for violent rhetoric? Or calling for a violence? Yes. Yes. Yeah. All these dead and the what? So all these people dead and the racists ran up in the house. I don't know what that means. All right. Some schools are electing to forego live streaming President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration ceremony on Wednesday over concerns of potential violence that could be broadcast into classrooms, and they don't want the students falling asleep. In Dallas, some school districts are refraining from showing live footage in class as Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris are sworn in. The Keller Independent School District is allowing parents to excuse their children from watching the event, while in Plano, administrators have decided not to stream the ceremony. The students will watch clips of the event the next day. Boy. Yo. CNN political director David Chalian got some social media blowback after he gushed over President-elect Joe Biden and the lights set up at the National Mall for his inauguration. Here's that video. It is weird. Are you ready for more weird? Here's more weird. Whoops. Hit the wrong button. Hold on.
Still some tinkering going on with the inaugural address, but his aides have made really clear it's not like he's trying to ignore or paper over either what happened at the Capitol 2 weeks ago or what we've been through throughout 4 years of the Trump presidency. And the contrast on display tonight was so stark. I mean, those lights that are just shooting out from the Lincoln Memorial along the reflecting pool.
Look at that.
It's like almost extensions of Joe Biden's arms embracing America. It was a moment.
Holy smokes. It's almost like Joe Biden's arms reaching out and embracing America and sniffing their hair. I continue.
The new president came to town and sort of convened the country in this moment of remembrance, outstretching his arms. And contrast that with that video you just saw of a disgraced president on his way out at his lowest point in his presidency at the very end here by himself, fighting for his political movement to live on, and not even necessarily promising that he's going to be leading that movement, you noted in his remarks tonight. I just think that sort of isolated...
Oh, my gosh. It's like his arms reaching out and embracing the United States, embracing America. He binding up and healing your wounds. What in God's name is going on? What is going on? Mike Lindell from My Pillow, you've seen him a bazillion times. He said this week that a variety of retailers are set to cancel his brand's popular products. He's been targeted because he's a close friendship with President Trump, and his vocal allegations over voter fraud. So why would you do that? Why, if you're a retailer, why do you care? Let the purchaser decide. He's not selling anything sexual. It's not something offensive. It's a daggone pillow. I'm sorry. I hope you didn't hurt yourself, Sandy. Climb back up on the couch. It's a pillow. Why are you taking it out of the stores? Oh, this is what this country's become. Cancel culture. Because of your friendship, because of what you believe, we can't carry your product. He doesn't endorse the raping of children. He's not killing puppies. He's a friend of Donald Trump. And because of that, they can't sell his pillow. What in God's name is going on? He said, I just got off the phone with Bed Bath & Beyond. They're dropping my pillow. He said and got off the phone 5 minutes ago. Kohl's. All these different places. These guys don't understand. They're scared. They were good partners. In fact, I told them you guys can come back anytime you want. He's a class act. The left has attacked the vendors. We will boycott your stores. So what? Do you want to make those few left that will boycott angry over the 74 million plus Trump voters? I don't know. Pretty weird. We might use the pillow to smother a Democrat. You're a what is it? An extremist. Yeah. Yes. Destroy anybody that supports Trump? Yep. How much time I got? All right. The incoming Biden administration plans to waste no time in overturning much of the progress achieved by President Donald Trump. Glenn Beck on Monday ran through 10 executive orders that Biden plans to announce on day one of his time in office. Rejoining the Paris Climate Accord, bad idea. Canceling the Keystone Pipeline, bad idea. Mask mandates on federal land and during interstate travel, bad idea. And a proposed federal minimum wage of $15 an hour, bad idea. Stinking. It's going to be bad. As cities across the nation fall to destructive and violent left-wing riots. Here's this. Now, they remember they said that President Trump called for riots. Yes, that's what they said. I want you to see this. Listen closely, my friends.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful. Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight. And if you see anybody...
Okay, there's more, but we don't need to show more. You get it. You get it. These people are criminal. They are criminal. Yet, it is you. It is Trump and you that are the problem. Do you get it? Do you get it now? I know it ticks me off too. They are hypocritical. I'll move that out of the way so I can get that. But yeah, they are hypocritical. It should tick you off. It should anger you. You are being blamed, yet they can do whatever they want. Do you get it now? Do you get it now? I've got more. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you this. How much time I got? Okay. Let me pop this up here. This is Trump's new army, they say. It's a video created by novelist and left-wing activist John Winslow. It calls upon citizens to become cyber detectives to monitor and report fellow citizen Trump supporters to authorities while comparing the work of his army of citizens to that which led the capture of al-Qaeda founder Osama bin Laden. Watch this.
On or before January 20th, Donald Trump will no longer be the commander-in-chief. He will lose control of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Special Forces, and America's nuclear arsenal. On January 20th, Donald Trump will become the commander-in-chief of a different army. This army. The greatest threat facing America today comes from within. Radical extreme conservatives, also known as domestic terrorists. They are hidden among us, disguised behind regular jobs. They are your children's teachers. They work at supermarkets, malls, doctors' offices, and many are police officers and soldiers. For more than a decade, Donald Trump has spoken directly to white supremacists in their language.
Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
Pocahontas? Is it offensive? Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
In the middle of a presidential debate, Donald Trump was asked to disavow white supremacy. He refused. Instead, he told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
They heard their leader. They even responded to him on Twitter promising to stand by. And on January 6, 2021, Trump greenlit them. They suited up, they flew in, they took hotel rooms, they loaded their weapons, prepared their bombs, and they attacked with the intention of killing Nancy Pelosi and hanging Vice President Mike Pence.
They were vocally saying, "Where's the speaker? We know she has staff. They're here someplace. We're going to find them."
In the years ahead, Trump will lead his army of domestic terrorists. He will encourage and incite violence. He will play the role of arsonist and fireman. He will start a civil war and then say things were more peaceful when he was president. We have to fight back. In this new war, the battlefield has changes. Computers can be more valuable than guns. And this is what we need now more than ever, an army of citizen detectives. I'm proposing we form a citizen army. Our weapons will be computers and cell phones. We, who are monitoring extremists on the internet and reporting their findings to authorities. Remember, before the Navy SEALs killed Osama bin Laden, he had to be found. He was found by a CIA analyst working on a computer thousands of miles away. It's up to you.
All right. So I see over here in the comments that someone thinks this is disgusting. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. But she's saying that it's that we're saying this is disgusting. I didn't say it. I'm not saying this. I'm showing you what the left is saying. Do you find that disgusting? Do you find what the left is saying disgusting? That they're wanting you to rat out. I mean, this stuff is absolutely over the top. It is not me. This is very Nazi-ish. Hitler did do the same thing. Hitler did do the exact same thing. Oh my gosh. And I'm offended that you're offended that I'm showing you what your side is doing. All I'm showing you is exactly what they said. Did Nancy Pelosi and all those liberal freaks, Maxine Waters and all those people, did they call for violence? Yes. Yes. They call for assassination of the president? Yes. Where is the outrage in that? And President Trump said march peacefully, and everybody's a domestic terrorist. (850-771-0049). Look, I get so, what is it? Talk about using the Nazi playbook. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We just believe in a free America. Free America. We do believe in a free America. But you don't have a free America if you get taken off of Facebook because you ask for a legitimate count of the votes. You get taken off Facebook for that. But they could call for violence, and they can call you domestic terrorists and turn you in. Turn you in. Scared yet? Scared yet? Watch your P's and Q's, my friends. Watch your P's and Q's. It is, how did we get here? And don't blame Trump. It's not Trump's fault. They were attacking Trump the day he announced. He didn't have time to do anything wrong. They were against it from the very beginning. Before he even took office, they were talking about impeachment. So don't tell me it's Trump's fault. It is not Trump's fault. The left, not only they just want to beat you in an election, they want to eliminate you. That video should scare you to death. I get it, Sharon. Spend time in prayer. Pray for our nation. Pray for another. And don't give up hope. Do not give up hope. All right. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow. You never know. You never know. Share the video. It's being throttled. Yeah, it's just one of those things. And we'll get by. But it's on YouTube. Share the YouTube link. It's Sunrise Santa Rosa with Nick Stewart - the Milton Post. Share that video as well. And let's do this. All right, kids. Thank you so much. God bless you. Stay strong. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.